Yeah, today is Wednesday, the 19th. Uh, Welcome to T. Michael's House of Faith. Our goal is to build a foundation of trust in the Lord, help each other fight conscience mind, taking on others' burdens, and to be supportive and comforting one another. The Lord is our author, not us. We do not endorse finance or lend. We are self supporting. We are non professional, but may employ special workers. Remember, it only takes two or three of us to get together to form a faith group. Self supporting, we do ask for a couple of dollars, which goes towards the first works, and to a gift pot, which goes back towards the people out there, buying gifts and giving gifts out there. But I'm not worried about donations really. Your level of faith is far more precious than gold. It's far more worthy to have you here in a group of faith where our faith can build whatever level of money we need. But it is thankful and helpful, and I do thank all the people that have already donated. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. We are getting some stuff done out there on the streets, getting people some homeless, getting some, getting the homeless people some sleeping bags and coats and jackets and stuff like that. So, and it's getting pretty cold out now, so it's perfect timing. Thank you so much. God bless you. All right, today we're doing self-awareness. Something we brought up yesterday caught me off guard was anger. We were talking about anger in our meeting yesterday, and I went in there with about crushing fear. But yeah, but it brought me to my attention. So self-awareness, you cannot change it if you're not aware of it. You cannot read the label unless you remove yourself from outside the jar. Take yourself out of your own head and start asking yourself really deep questions. First, what you want to do is calm yourself down and ask, why did I act why did I act that way? Why did I have such an emotional reaction? Why did I freak out? Uh, you may answer yourself, well, I just have a short fuse. That's what I was born with. This isn't something we're born with. This is something that builds over time. Um, Self awareness is really the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. It's the capacity to really start to recognize and to understand our own emotions, your motivations, your actions, your patterns of behavior, because we have parents who react. Some are short fused, some aren't, but that's where we might get it from. Our patterns come from other people. If your parents might have been one of the ones driving along and started cussing and swearing the person that cut them off, you're probably going to do the same thing. If your parents were like cool and calm and collect about it, they let them in, whatever. And that's the way you're probably going to be about it. But that's where the patterns come from of other people. It's not something we're born with, but um, how aware are you of these patterns? Be aware of what you're really feeling, what you are feeling, and why you're feeling that way, and how those emotions can affect your decisions and your actions. Your emotions also affect those around you as well. How to build more self awareness in your life. Stress is an emotion and it is a pattern. Start a stress journal. This really help you out here. This help and when you start a stress journal, it will help you identify the triggers, understanding your emotional response, and eventually help you develop a coping mechanism. Uh, Learn yourself. How do you learn yourself? Well, the past, knowing yourself is based off the past. Learning yourself is the present. You're learning in the present. Your journal can be a great emotional release to put your feelings on paper and to work through them. Do your journal without guilt, shame, emotion, or judgment. Yeah, yeah, and when you write it down on paper, it's not as easy to put it in your head and try to figure it out through your head as it is to write it down. And once you write it down, then you can see it. Okay, now I can plan it. Now I can do it. Now I can work through it. And it makes it a lot easier, than try to juggle it around in your head. uh, Ask yourself, how am I reacting and why do I feel this way? And take a moment to really breathe and really calm yourself down before you react. And that's what good tools in here coming up. I get kind of excited about this one. um, our subconscious, it brings up automatic thoughts on us, and it does it so quickly we don't even notice it. It's actually our emotions that we start to feel right away. Um, but we recognize the feeling, we notice the emotions and need to slow down in the moment. When we feel that way and question ourselves, why am I feeling this way about it? And now we're actually working through it. And try this one on. And you guys can leave the feedback for me on this. Self-awareness. Ask your friends what they notice about you. Get a feedback on them. You're an arrogant son of a bitch that kept pissing me off all the time. But, yeah, you don't walk through life looking through a mirror and noticing what you're doing. It's a lot easier for somebody else to see and notice and point it out to you, and that really helps. That can really fix you, especially if they rag on you, it kind of pisses you off. Well, there you go. Start to calm yourself down, start breathing, work on it. We need to manage our emotions, and not by pushing them away or ignoring them like they are not there, but to work through them. We got to take them on and work through them. Self-soothing. This is neat. It is get you from a highlighted state to a calm and relaxed state, and regardless of your circumstances. But when your highlighted state comes on you, that's when you want to pause before you react. You want to take a moment, really start calming down, because I think I'll wait on that. But self-soothing is something that you're born with. Like a little baby sucks on its thumb, or when it's screaming and crying, it's all pissed off. What do? You give it a pacifier, and it calms it down. Little children, they carry a little stuffed animal around them, or their little blankie, sucking on their thumb with a blankie. They're soothing themselves. And that's something we are born with. But when we grow older, we lose it. And I was looking at this, and it kind of dawned on me after going through this. I wonder, sometimes if that might have something to do with us falling into drugs or alcohol. We ain't got that soothing feeling, and once we get that, if we start drinking, or that might not have been what started my drinking, but in the long run, that was my blanket. I guess you can say that was my thumb. Boy, was I sucking on that. But yeah, between negative stimuluses and your response, there is a brief space, and in this space is our freedom and our power to choose our response, in which in return lies our growth and freedom. When we feel the emotions start, that is when we need to start taking deep breaths into a relaxed state. Teach yourself to calm down when your emotions are high. Our logic is low. You cannot focus on getting through something if you're all pissed off about it, right? Kind of like fighting. You get all pissed off, now out of control. Who's going to win the fight? The one that's calm, collective, and waiting and watching. He's usually the one that's going to win the fight. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, this is something we can really practice. I was gonna do this today after going through this. Let's see, pretty easy to take on. Can't say that it is. You say something easy and it's not gonna be right, but you gotta watch your words. But practicing. How do we practice this? We can uh, work yourself up in a highlighted state and take a moment to breathe quickly, lowering your state to being calm. A good tactic, if you go out for a jog, take a jog, get your heart rate right up. Take a moment, stop, start to breathe. Try to lower your heart rate as quickly as possible. And you can keep doing this. Another way, in the morning, like I'm going to try tomorrow morning when I get up and exercise, do 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, start doing my jumping jacks. And when my heart rate gets up, I can sit down. Something I can practice on. And when you keep practicing this, and when you do get in that situation, you're prepared for it. You're ready to take it on. You've been practicing that, and that's what it takes is practice. And always remember, we can't change the world around us, but we can change the way we react to it. React back with a positive situation instead of a negative situation to the world. And, instead of getting beat up about it, take it as a challenge. But yeah, I think you find it really neat to be able to take on and do some exercise, and you can just really, practice that and keep practicing. That way, when you get in a situation where you get pissed off, you're automatically, you can really quickly put yourself into a relaxed state. Because straight now, if you get pissed off, it's probably going to take you a while to try to calm down and get it. But if you practice, you've been doing it for days and days and days. Now somebody pisses you off, and all of a sudden you just, all right, we can work through this one. I got this. And now you're more calm, collective, and I think it's a great opportunity. Kind of glad I ran across this, got it jotted down, work it in with my yesterday's step of teaching people to work out, to give them more energy, to get you more of a positive day out, and stuff like that. And yeah, well, just doing a short podcast here today. I don't know. Kind of like to do it every day, but then again, I'd kind of like to do take a little more time. Maybe do it maybe 2-3 times a week, and I can work on my scriptures a little more. Instead of just jotting down and shouting them out real quick. I don't care about going over and trying to look professional or anything like that. And it's more important just to get the word out and get you to hear it and understand it than it is the way I look and how I do it. So I don't care about looking like a professional or trying to do something like them. That they always have like people hold signs, so they read the signs, but yet they're looking right at the camera. Because when you do stuff, you really want to make eye contact like this instead of always holding my head down. It does help a little bit, but that may be something I could work on a little bit, but not a big deal, I don't think. If you notice too, people's shows when they start off with their shows like this, a year later, where am I gonna be? My show might be awesome. I might have this and that by then, who knows? But not a big deal. And hopefully you guys can get something out of this. I do appreciate your time and you guys watching these things, and I really do hope that you do get stuff out of this. And hopefully I can work with a lot of people out there. I know got a lot of people out there with PTSD and stuff like that, and anger and a lot of emotions, and that's what I want to get rid of is emotions. Because once you get rid of your emotions, you got that peace and joy in your heart. You got that peace and joy. And to get that peace and joy in your heart is to know the Lord's right there, and it doesn't matter what happens, because the Lord's gonna balance everything out for you in the long run. And so, yeah, short little 15-minute podcast here, I guess we'll do it. God bless you all. I may have a I may do one tomorrow. Not sure. I got a little faith group. I got to go work for the church tomorrow. And, I have a faith group tomorrow again. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Don't want to try to get. I want to hurry up and get stuff out there and all, but I'll end up overdoing stuff, and I just gotta take it slow, see what to do, and yeah. Well, it's about 6:30 or 20 to 7 now. I'll probably have this out about 7 or so, maybe quarter to. I don't know how long it takes for Facebook to go through it and allow it to go through, or YouTube. When you post something, it usually takes a while before it gets out. So, God bless you all. It's awesome to see you guys, and I hope everything's going well for y'all. Uh, God bless y'all. Have a great day. Until next time, I'll see you, hey?